Good evening from Kirksville, Missouri. Let me see if I got this set up right. Let me check right here. All right. If I wasn't right the first time, at least now I know it's muted uh, for this mic to cut in. Uh, First off, I want to start off with I got mail today. I got mail from Christopher Williams and Dawn Little. And I wanted to show first, he has been coming out, or they have been coming out, as Homer's Reluctant Odyssey on my site. And I've got another, you'll see it right there behind me. Uh, go to their channel and visit. I think you will like it, particularly if you like dogs. I'll just read this real quick. And I appreciate your small donation along with the letter. We hope all is well with you and Grace. We enjoy your rants. Keep pounding that dummy on the table. We got stickers for our channel, so I thought I would send in a couple your way with a small donation. Please stay safe and sane. Chris Williams and Dawn Little. That is very much appreciated, both of you. Every bit counts in our fight. Let me put this over to the side. And it just shows that you are out there, other people are out there. I'm getting supported by this family in so many different ways. It just humbles me that this kind of thing happens. And it also made me a decision. This came from my P.O. box today. So I'm going to go ahead and renew that. I'm expecting other mail this coming week through that P.O. box. So I'm going to go ahead and renew on the box itself. So I will be using the meme again, put out when I do my rants. Unfortunately, I can't do that on YouTube. But you know, the other way that I how I roll is with my virtual tip jar. And I will be putting that on here on YouTube and also on the one in my public feed. They had my picture on there again. The last time was Clarkston High School, where I went to high school. So I don't know from time to time which one's going to be out there. All right, let's get all fired up. And first off, what I want to say, this is not a holiday weekend. This is getting out of hand, for one thing, with the crowds wanting no one to wear a mask in their presence. These are morons of our society. In other words, they had the right to control you wearing a mask. We know who influenced that kind of behavior. And he's an asshole anyway. I have a right to protect you, even if you are too stupid to do that for me. Keep your mouths shut, idiots. New cases in states like North Carolina, highest single day increase in new cases, at 1,100 new cases in one day. See, this is what you get for opening up too fast. And this is only the beginning of it. We've got this weekend and Monday to get through. In about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we're going to see increased numbers all over the country because you idiots wouldn't get out there and do the right thing and do as instructed. There was a safe way to do it, but you insist on people can't be around you with masks on, you baby ass people. Shit. All right. I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I'll go back to page 1 and tell you about some things I learned about last night. Donnie the dictator uh, cannot override the governors. Of course, the kiss-ass governors in Republican states will probably uh, do all of what he wants, uh, which is to open up churches. That's real bright. That's where a lot of the community's spread started, was in church services. So let's go back to do that, and spread a little love with the disease around. Damn it! Damn it! And before the churches, or those that stayed open, they got hit with infections and deaths. Your faith is in your heart. It's not in a building that man built. I don't know how you ever got any other idea. If you read the New Testament or anywhere else, does it say you have to sit in a building to pray or anything else? No, hell, it doesn't. And I'm also so glad that they arrested William Roddy Bryan. He was an accomplice, as guilty as the McMichaels. Well, I shouldn't say he's guilty, but that's the only reason that he would have been following Arbery in the first place. Why? And they're now saying the GBI would not have arrested him if he wasn't involved as more than a witness, because they've figured it out too. He's probably the first pickup that tried to stop him. He got around that, and then he followed him and led him into the trap for the McMichaels to kill him. And this again, and Rachel pointed out the story of churches that had reopened either in defiance or by order of their governors, and pointed out all the positive case and death that resulted from doing that. Also, the Navajo Nation outbreak started at a church service. Oh, isn't that interesting? And they don't have water to wash hands. It's a lot harder in the Navajo Nation to fight off this disease spread. And again, community spread. Yesterday, Arkansas legislature, they saw another 455 positive cases, largest daily increase. And they want some sports to resume because everything's fine in Arkansas. Damn. How dumb can you be? Coronavirus. Florida records 1,204 new cases, 1 new death in Jacksonville. From Florida today. COVID-19. Broward commissioners okay 70 team youth baseball tournaments. This weekend event could draw 1,500 people, including players, coaches, and family members. New York, I enjoyed that. The public service announcements that New York was looking at, wear a mask was the theme, and that was quite nice. And a lot of people put a lot of effort into doing a good wear a mask. And it was children and other people doing these, some adults doing them too. The CDC has gone silent. Its voice must be restored. They haven't spoken publicly since March, right after Donnie made the big mistake. We could have saved 36,000 lives, and he had to be on the golf course on March 8th, which would have been the day they could have saved 36,000 lives. But it was more important to him after saying he wouldn't have time to play golf. But he had time then. Instead of acting like a president and doing something, he sat in that damn golf cart and then went around and played golf. He had no cares in the world. Oh, shit. White House had Dr. Birch pushing a chart designed to look like testing has worked and things are getting better. Actually, it's a chart laid out showing more testing versus least testing. The way it was laid out, they had to do less testing as time went on because the numbers dropped. And that's bullshit. And I guess that's playing to his base. They're not any brighter than that. Dr. Birch also downplayed the latest research. And, I've seen everybody saying that she's in a tough position. No, she's not. She's kissed Donnie's ass all along the way, including injecting chloride. I mean, Clorox. Shit. She just gave a troubled look on her face. She didn't get up and say, "No, you can't do that, Mr. President." No, she just sat there with a worried look on her face. And really, when you think about it, you don't see Dr. Fauci out there anymore. Dr. Fauci is more or less been taken out of it. And everybody knows Donnie's against science. And that's the reason he's acting like the virus was in the past and we've gone beyond that. And then having the nerve, no matter what, they won't shut down. In other words, until we get to 30% of the population where we've got herd immunity, he's not worried about it. And we're not near that, and we should sacrifice that many lives. We're not Sweden. We're not a small country. What he's talking about is killing more people. Tyson Food Processing Plant, this is from Rachel, in rural Iowa, hit hard by coronavirus with 186 positive cases. Perry, Iowa, Tyson plant. Iowa, the OSHA took 9 days to seek a response from Tyson. Regulators sat on complaints as the outbreak grew at the plant. No action was taken. April 28th announced that Tyson voluntary actions were enough. And this is by the CDC or OSHA, and never bothered they never went out there and inspected. They just took the word of the Tyson plant. Oh, that's the way to do it. That's what you call fascism. That's what's running this country. And unless we get rid of that fascist in the White House, that's what we can expect. Companies rule. The minority rules. May 5th, Kansas City Star. Tyson Meat Plant in Iowa reports that more than 700 employees, or 58%, have coronavirus. She's also the idiot governor that said you don't have to report till you reach 10%. When it's already a big problem, then you talk about it. Yesterday, as I waited for Grace at Walmart, the Smithfield Foods here in Milan, Missouri, which is about, I'd say about 20 miles out of Kirksville, Missouri on Highway 6. They are advertising to hire new team members, or at least advertising for them. I don't think they're getting many takers, as everybody can watch the news. Who wants to work somewhere where your employer wants you to work regardless of? And that's another thing. In this state, we're not hearing about positive cases. In other words, they're doing like other states, Republican, that are saying you don't have to report the cases. State after state in manufacturing, warehousing, like Amazon, uh, and other food processing besides meat, and other companies, community spread is the result because those people have to return home. They don't sleep at the damn warehouse or the processing plant. That's how you get community spread. And Donnie said, open up. And as he said that, communities around the country are being infected. COVID-19 has killed hundreds of workers, but not one employer by our government has been cited. That's because they're fascists. OSHA is not, like I was saying, OSHA has not issued in the whole country not one citation. Our federal government is failing with the Donald Trump regime. And I mean regime. This is the fascist regime. They take over with a minority base. And how they do it. Hitler did it, same thing. You appeal to the gross right wing churches. That's what Sunday's about. Damn him. He's fucking up our country one department at a time under his administration. Now, with a pandemic and known cases approaching 2 million and nearly 100,000 deaths, open the churches. We're losing enough people. And the pompous asshole in the White House has no power to overrule governors. So at least the Democratic governors will probably do the right thing and say, no, it's not the time. And I think they're going to be surprised. There's going to be, since Catholic Church in Texas lost a priest over infection of COVID-19, maybe some of these Catholic churches will say no. That's something that I hope to do tomorrow. One street over on Washington Street, we have a Catholic church school. So I want to see if big crowds show up for that. If they do, I'm going to have photographs of it. I'm going to let the country know on Monday how many showed up by just their cars, and usually 2 or 3 or whole families will be in those cars. And of course, William Roddy Bryan showed up at court, and he's facing murder charges, false imprisonment. That was because he tried to stop him where the McMichaels could kill him. And GBI, like I said, wouldn't have Bryan if he was just a witness. So they don't believe his story. Congress demands declassify calls between Flynn and Russian ambassador, and the DNI agrees to some transcripts, according to Adam Schiff. And what they're trying to do is they're going to release what they want to. Excuse me, we just had dinner. It is muddying the water waters uh, for the administration. Uh, Flynn's Fox Spew's attorney says she thinks it will help clear her client. Oh, yeah. Except there wasn't just one charge of lying to the FBI. He was also a foreign agent for a foreign government with Turkey. And look how that turned out. Turkey and the United States are buddies with a dictator. Ah, it'd be funny, but you can't make this shit up. This is happening. Uh, Tuesday, May 26th, the ousted deputy IG, I believe it's the Pentagon or the DOD, will be heard at a congressional hearing. And I'll just end it with one story from AM Joy this morning. Senator Mitch McConnell on judges, I think that was April 21st. My motto for the year is to leave no vacancy behind. That hasn't changed. The pandemic will not prevent us from achieving that goal. This will be done with far right judges. They're going to push in all the far right judges they can, instead of helping the American people push through those judges. After all, that's more important than American people are. Can't help them. You've had enough help. Sending all the money to the top, that helped you out. Oh, and also I wanted to hit this. A friend of mine sent me something that the only way I could forward, I could only forward it, and it would go quicker here. There's a reason a lot of people through the IRS are not receiving their checks. They live overseas, and the IRS will not send any checks to non US banks. There's the loophole. They're going to get to keep that money, and the people can just go to hell because of that loophole with the IRS. I guess they're supposed to come back to the States, open up a bank account where they can get their stimulus check. Shit. Damn. Oh, it's been a long week, to say the least. I do appreciate we've got a pretty good crowd here for YouTube. I'm hoping that it will build up even more. Well, thank you, Brother Joe. I can hardly see the stuff. I'm having to keep it at 110 zoom because otherwise I can't find the end button to end the darn stream. But I'll be able to go through this in real time and have a look at it later on. We just went to 15, 16 people now. And I understand there's a lot of you that don't get in my chat room. I don't know why that is, but you can easily comment down at the bottom after I'm finished on YouTube. You can drop down, like, share this shit, and also be able to make your comments there. I do appreciate those. I've got quite a following that I get a lot of compliments from. There's some people that would like to see me go national and more people see what I'm doing here for the Blue Dot family. I admit I would too. I'm not nervous about any of this. In fact, I've gotten very used to it, and doesn't bother me at all to be a public speaker. All right, this is the time that I'll remind you I will be renewing on that post office box, and I will start putting that information back out. My good buddy Dave supplied what I used for that. I hadn't used it in weeks because I thought I would close it down, But since all of a sudden it's been active again, it does make a good way. Some people have, and I have friends that have a problem with personal messenger. It won't work for them. So if they want to tell me something or donate or whatever, they can't do it because their personal messenger is not working for them. In any case, none of it is required as a Blue Dot family member. I'm out here, I will be out here, and just like the small donation, that keeps me going. That tells me that I'm doing the right thing. Because all of us, we are the true patriots in this country. We will take this country back, brothers and sisters. It's just a matter of, I saw a little segment from Bill Maher last night with Michael Moore. He was saying that we can beat him by 5 million votes. If he wins in the swing states, he'll still be our their stinking president. And I don't want to even imagine, because we are headed away from any kind of democratic republic. This is not a democratic republic when you want somebody on one side to suppress votes to please the great leader. Give me a freaking break. Down. All right, I will leave you today. Have some good downtime. I know I'm going to probably post a whole lot of music today and tomorrow. I try, you know me though, I cannot resist a good meme or a good video to get it out there to you. So until you see me on my Monday rant about 6 p.m. Central Time, I'll let you go. I want you to share this shit. I love my country and I love this Blue Dot family. We will make a difference November 3rd, 2020. Vote blue all the way up and down the ballot. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Bye bye now. Share this shit.